What is up, guys? Welcome back to my channel. If you guys like sports stuff, consider subscribing. I'm sure you guys can tell by the name of the video. I'm going to talk about, can Nick Foles lead the Eagles back to the Super Bowl? Can he do it again? If you guys remember last year, this is the same amount of time where Carson Wentz got hurt. Last year, Carson Wentz tore his ACL. This year, he has a back injury. But last year, Nick Foles in 7 games went 6-1 as a starter, had 101 completions, 5 touchdowns to 2 interceptions, led the Eagles to the Super Bowl, ended up winning this Super Bowl MVP. But this year, if it does happen, if the Eagles do get to the playoffs, because they need a lot to happen. Right now, the Cowboys are 8-6, leading first place. The Cowboys were losing the next 2 games. The Eagles were win the next 2 games. That helped the Eagles be finish off 9-7. But the Eagles go 1-1. Next 2 games finish 8-8. It wouldn't matter. Cowboys would win the division because Cowboys beat the Eagles twice this year. Also, what the Eagles need, they also really need help because the 2 wildcard teams are the Seahawks and the Vikings. Seahawks are in at 8-6, where the Vikings are 7-6-1. So right here, the Eagles need a lot to happen to make it. They need, the Seahawks lose the next 2 games. They need the Vikings at least lose the next 2 games. They need the Cowboys, like I said, lose the next 2 games. But if it does happen, I definitely don't see the Eagles doing it again. I don't see Nick Foles doing it again. As an Eagles fan, it'd be really cool to see it again. Seeing Nick Foles bring a second Super Bowl to Philadelphia, but it's going to be tough. In 3 games this year, Nick Foles started the first 2, but now he's obviously played last week against the Rams, and against the Rams, he went completions was 24 for 31, no touchdowns, 20 interceptions. But in 3 games this season, he has a 2-1 record, 1 touchdown to 2 interceptions, 721 yards. As a starting quarterback for the Eagles, his career record is 22-12, 53 touchdowns to 20 interceptions. He's the right guy to do it. I mean, he's proven in the past he can be a good starting quarterback for the Eagles. Just I think it was 2013 against the Raiders, he threw 7 touchdowns. But yeah, it's definitely going to be tough for him to do again. They especially got a tough game on Sunday against the Houston Texans. They got a very tough offense. The Eagles' defense has a very tough offense to stop. Deshaun Watson this season has an incredible season. I'm surprised he did not make the Pro Bowl. But Deshaun Watson stats this year is 24 touchdowns to 9 interceptions, 3,592 yards. Not only that, the Eagles secondary is going to have a tough time stopping this guy in DeAndre Hopkins. This guy is one of the best receivers in the game. Some people say he's the best receiver in the game. I definitely think he's one of the best receivers in the game. His stats this year is 1,321 yards to 11 touchdowns. The Eagles secondary has been banged up all season. It's just incredible how many guys have started in their secondary. Their secondary gives up so many yards. They always get burnt. It's going to be tough to stop a guy like DeAndre Hopkins. But what also helps the Eagles, Lamar Miller was ruled out for the game for Sunday, so maybe that could help the Eagles out. But also the Eagles' offensive line is going to have a tough battle. They're going to have to start J.J. Watt, who's an extremely good player, and Jadeveon Clowney. You don't want those 2 guys getting pressure on Nick Foles, because once you get pressure on Nick Foles, he will crumble under pressure and he will turn the ball over. He'll make stupid throws. He's done it in the past, but altogether, the Eagles need a lot to happen to make the playoffs. And if they do, if they can win the next 2, I know I said the Cowboys, the Seahawks, or the Vikings, if they lose the next 2, or somehow the Eagles can squeak in, I definitely don't see the Eagles making it far in the playoffs. It's definitely tough for them. They got a good Bears team that we have to beat. That Bears defense is good. The Saints are good. Look what the Saints did to them about a month ago. They beat them 48-7 in New Orleans. They did just beat the Rams, but I think the Rams will be a different team come playoffs. But yeah, like I said, the Eagles need a lot to happen to make the playoffs. And if they do make the playoffs, I definitely don't see Nick Foles doing it again. But if he does do it again, that'd be pretty impressive. Being the backup quarterback the year prior, taking over, winning the Super Bowl, then doing the same thing the next year. If he does it again, what do you do with Carson Wentz? Do you get rid of Carson Wentz? Do you keep Carson Wentz? Do you keep Carson Wentz as a backup? Do you put Nick Foles as a starter? If it were to happen, you got to look at that. You got to look at that situation because Nick Foles will be 30. I think it's at the end of this season. Do you still trust if Carson Wentz can stay healthy? This guy has been in the league for 3 years, and he's been injured twice already. That's not looking good. A lot of people picked Carson Wentz to be a future MVP of the league, future top quarterback, and so far he can't stay healthy. So it's going to be a weird situation for the Eagles if Nick Foles can pull it off again. But I don't know. It's going to be tough for the Eagles. I don't think history will repeat itself twice. But as an Eagles fan, if it does, that'd be awesome. But I definitely don't see it. Cinderella story won't happen again, unfortunately. But my final verdict, I don't see the Eagles doing it again. But like I said, it would be cool to see Nick Foles do it again. But unfortunately, there's too many good teams in the NFC playoff picture right now. The Eagles need a lot to happen. But let me know what you guys think. And thank you guys for watching. I definitely want to start putting a lot more effort into this channel, getting this channel out there. And it really means a lot to me. You guys keep coming back. Thank you so much. And let me know what you guys think. If Nick Foles can do it again, if the Eagles can do it again, if the Eagles will even make the playoffs. So thank you guys for watching. I hope you guys have a good Christmas or a good holiday. Thank you so much.